Welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session here. Thursday evening. I try to make it every Thursday. I will not be on next Thursday. It is Thanksgiving. But tonight, it's an open forum. You're welcome to ask any kind of questions that you want, whatever comes to mind. Whether you want to talk about something in the state of Utah or the United States, or maybe you're joining us from another country and you have general questions about the United States or procedures that we do in the United States, I'd be fine to answer any of those things. Don't be shy. In the state of Utah, northern Utah, we are enjoying some 60-degree weather, which is about normal for course. Average temperature this time of year is probably in the 50s to 60s. Southern Utah, a little bit warmer. That would be average. Last November, we did receive snowfall on November the 1st. So far, the only snowfall that we have received, we had some overnight rain, but in the mountains, it was snow. So only if you live in the higher elevations did you receive snow last night. Rain down here in the valley. I want to talk a little bit about ski resorts. A lot of people come to Utah, go skiing. The big boys, the big companies, the Deer Valleys, the Park Cities, Snow Basin, they do a lot of marketing, a lot of advertisement. People come from all over the world to ski at some of these resorts. Fantastic places, great dining, a great experience, great customer service, no doubt. First-class facilities, world-class facilities. Some of the facilities have been ranked worldwide as great facilities in many magazines. But it comes at a cost. Sometimes it can be on the pricey side. Well, I think it's on the pricey side. I rarely ski myself at some of these resorts, mostly due to the cost. So I was going to talk tonight about some options, some of the smaller, the mom and pop resorts, what I call places that you can just ski and have a hot dog, have a hamburger, and enjoy skiing without, some of the maybe amenities that the bigger facilities offer. And some of these smaller resorts are great places to go. And when it comes to skiing on the affordable side, sometimes you can get yearly passes at a discount rate. Some of these locations might have night skiing where it's at a reduced rate. I can remember being in my 20s. I used to buy a night skiing pass to Powder Mountain, and me and my friends, we would go 2-3 nights a week. And we purchased the one pass. We could ski all we wanted to throughout the winter season. We just had a blast. I do miss those days, by the way. So now I have more responsibilities, so I can't just take off and go skiing all the time. But I'm looking forward to going skiing. I get this bug as soon as winter comes. I'd like to go skiing, and then it usually tapers off a little, and I do less and less skiing as January and February rolls around. I'm looking towards the spring months. But if you are looking for some options, Beaver Mountain, located up in Logan. I know it's sometimes a little bit of a drive, especially when you're in the Salt Lake Valley, but it's a mom and pop resort, not very crowded, some great prices, great facility. We've got Nordic Valley, another great place. They'll give you some affordable skiing. Cherry Peak. We've also got Brian Head. Brian Head is probably, it's very popular. So it's talked about quite a bit. Eagle Point. Now that resort is not talked about a lot. I personally have never skied at that location. And I'm going to throw also in Powder Mountain. It's one of my favorite resorts. I love Powder Mountain. I'll always love Powder Mountain. They do not make any snow, but Powder Mountain just got acquired, or the man who owns, and his name is escaping me at the moment, but he owns Netflix. Everybody knows Netflix. I think he bought somewhere 50% of Powder Mountain, maybe more. He's got big plans of a lot of things going on. So maybe Powder Mountain will change a little, but it's been a quiet little place, and they in the past have restricted the number of passes that they give out, so it's not too crowded. But a lot of these resorts, great options. If you don't want to pay the pricing of the big boys, you just want to ski, have a soda, have a hot dog, enjoy the day. Yes. Can you snowboard everywhere? Yes. As far as I know, I haven't come across a resort that does not allow snowboarding. I personally have not skied at every resort though, so a little bit of a blanket statement. But most of the resorts that are around me, yes, snowboarding, 100%. Because snowboarding is very, very popular. So I personally don't snowboard. I'm probably missing out, but yeah, every time I go skiing, there's a lot of snowboarders, a lot. So yeah, so I think most resorts these days will allow snowboarding. But along that front too, as we were talking about the whole skiing industry, et cetera, et cetera. There's a big push to bring the Olympics back to the state of Utah. It's looking like, well, our name is in the hat. Salt Lake City is in the hat for 2030 and 2034. It's looking more like 2034. The other countries, locations that are in the hat for 2030, they don't seem to be as interested in holding it in 2034. Salt Lake is about the only one. So it's a good possibility we might be heading towards 2034. Anyways, but the state of Utah right now is already planning. They are setting money aside because we have facilities here from the last Olympics. A lot of these facilities are over 20 years old now. They need upgrades. So the state is earmarking money right now to set aside. So if we do get the Olympics, they plan on using that money to refurbish some of the facilities that we currently have. We are a great option to hold the Olympics. Most of the facilities are still here. I'm not too sure on some of the agreements. I know by Weber State University, they have an ice rink there that is now part of Weber County. I'm not too sure if, that was turned over to Weber County after the Olympics. There was also an Olympic Village there. They built all these apartments for the athletes to stay in. When the Olympics ended, they gave that to Weber State University for student housing. Those facilities are still there today. But I'm not too sure if there was an agreement that if the Olympics ever came back, they would get to use the facilities again, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not too sure, but in general, we have facilities, probably need to build a little bit more, but nearly all the facilities that I'm aware of are there in Park City and everywhere else. So cool. Thank you. We're hoping to get into it this year. Yes, it's it's great. It's a great industry. I love it. So, and that's one of the reasons I love the state of Utah. I'm an outdoor person. During the summer months, I like to golf and hike and mountain bike and do many other things, and do a little bit of fishing. And during the winter months, I do enjoy my snowmobile. I enjoy skiing. So I do enjoy the winter months also. So, what college football team do you root for? I'm assuming you're talking about in the state of Utah, or maybe nationally. If I would say nationally, I'd have to say University of Maryland, because I am a University of Maryland grad. I do keep an eye on University of Maryland, but in the state of Utah, I always watch the Ute games and the Utah State games and the Weber State games. I try to catch a Weber State game from time to time. It's great family fun. If you want affordability, $10 to $15, you can get a ticket to a Weber State game. Very affordable. If you've got to take a family of 4 or 6 or a family of 8, it's actually affordable. Same with the basketball. Weber State basketball, very affordable. I actually purchased season tickets. I used to have season tickets to the Utes. I gave up my season tickets a few years ago to the Utes, mostly because I work a lot of Saturdays. And going to a Ute game is, I mean, you've got to get there hours in advance. Parking is a nightmare. Mass transit is a nightmare. The trains are full. So I gave that up, and I bought Utah State tickets up in Logan. So I drive all the way to Logan. It's a beautiful drive up there. I park my car in the parking lot. I walk in the door, watch the game, and I go home. That's how I like it. So I still go to some Ute games. I got some friends that like to go. We try to catch 1 or 2 games a year to the Utes. But it takes time. We'll take the train down, and we'll get a couple brewskis and dinner and go to the game. They like to go to the night games. And then afterwards we'll go to the bar, and then we'll take the train home. But I'm gone for a long time period. So it takes a lot of preparation. And if I work Saturdays, it's a very long day. But I hold season tickets to the Utah State. I love, they play in the Mountain West Conference. They have a very big game this weekend. They're playing Boise. It's a local rival up the road. It's usually a packed out stadium with Boise. So we'll see how it goes. Boise fans travel very well. But Weber State is also a great option if you're looking for affordability to Weber State. And on a note about Weber State, one of the best players currently in the NBA, Damian Lillard, played for Portland. He's now with Minnesota. He went to school at Weber State, played at Weber State. So I do enjoy the college football though. So, but apart from that, nationally, I don't follow a lot of, the big boys, the LSU, Alabama. I mean, I look at their scores and things like that, but I do the local stuff. So it's, huge Lillard fan. Yeah. He, great guy at Weber State, has been an ambassador for Weber State, nothing but positive things. He comes back to Weber State, holds clinics, loves the university, great individual. So I'd like to see him win an NBA championship. It would have been nice if he would have got drafted to the Jazz maybe, but that didn't happen. That's kind of hard to do. So, but anyways, there is some great college football in the state. And now with BYU and Utah will both be in the Big 12 next year. Some great rivalries there. Some great teams will be coming to the state of Utah. So if you are a fan of another team, and we've had some great teams come already with the Utes being in the Pac-12, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, Arizona schools, Colorado, Deion Sanders, you name it. Those schools have come to Salt Lake City. I know the Utes still have to play Colorado this year. I'm not too sure if that's a home game or an away game though this year, but I believe it's the last game on the season. But there's some great college games. So, any more questions this evening? Any good college basketball teams around Salt Lake City? Well, not at the moment. BYU and the Utes have had some great seasons in the past. Maybe not so much lately. I don't. Actually, the team that has done very well lately is Utah State. They've gone to Mountain West Championship games and Final Four appearances, or the not Final Four appearance, but the NCAA tournament. They have gone there in the last few years, so they've done very well in the state. But right now, I guess basketball is not, doing as well as football is in the college sports, but it flips around. It could flip around. So, I mean, the Utes are doing great. They've done great in the Pac-12. That can change in a few years. So maybe their basketball team was better. I think it was back in the 96 or 97. They went to the NCAA championship game. They did lose that game somewhere around that time frame. So it has some great teams back there with Rick Majerus. Thank you for your time. You're welcome. I'm going to call it a night. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I hope everybody has a great and safe Thanksgiving. Take care.